Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Today, let's do a really fun and easy no-sew throw pillow. As always, remember to subscribe to my channel to get more great, simple videos. For this pillow cover, we're going to be using a lot of different kinds of yarn and a pillow cover that I've purchased. I got this one at Hobby Lobby, and it's 18 by 18, and you want to look for one that has a really loose weave. You'll also need a pair of scissors, a seam ripper, and a yarn needle. This is a needle that has a really big eye to it. Grab some extra yarn. This is a great way to use up scraps, multicolors, lots of different textures, and we're going to start off by making the tassels. So you'll see I cut a piece of yarn about 12 inches, and then I'm taking the yarn and simply wrapping the yarn around my hand. Now, depending on the thickness of the yarn, and yes, mine tended to get tangled, but depending on the thickness of the yarn, you're going to wrap anywhere between 15 and 40 times around your hands. On this yellow one, it was a really thin yarn, and I went about 40 times around my hands. Some of the thicker ones, like the green one you see kind of in the middle, that one I only did about 10 to 12 wraps. It's really up to you. After you wrap it around your hand, pull it off, and then slip the small piece of yarn that you cut through the center, and you're simply going to tie a knot at the top, pulling as tight as you can. Knot it a couple times, and then you want to clip all of the loops at the bottom. Now you can leave it all rough, like if you want to, and all different lengths, or what I did is I went back very carefully without cutting my hand and just trimmed them off so all the little tassel pieces were the same length. And you're going to do the same thing with all the different kinds of yarn that you're going to be using. The more variance and the variance of color and thickness and everything, the more cool the pillow is going to look. Now, you can do this where you completely cover the whole entire pillow cover. I've chosen just to do kind of a pattern where I've done like the bottom row, I've only done about 2/3 of the way. So you're going to place your tassels a couple inches apart. Now the thicker yarn, you may need help putting it through the needle, and that's where the seam ripper comes in. I kind of pushed it through the eye and then pulled it from the other side to get that thicker yarn through the needle. You want to go a couple inches over from the previous one. You want to go down through your fabric and make sure you're only going through the top layer. So as you see there, I've pulled the back out of the way, and you just simply pull it through to the wrong side. You're going to do the same thing with the other side, and we're using the piece of yarn that we cut and knotted around your tassel. You're simply going to push your yarn through your needle, or if it's a thin enough yarn, you might just be able to thread the needle by itself. You can wrap the ends in tape if that would help. And then a little ways away from the first one that you poked in, you're going to poke the second one through the front to the back, pull it through. And you want to pull it pretty snug so the knot is tied up against the front of the pillow, and then you simply just knot the threads on the back. You can cut the threads off short if you want to. I just left mine long. You couldn't see them from the front. And that's pretty much what I did for the entire pillow, is I just randomly put my tassels of yarn, and I did just kind of off-centered lines